Right, we're going live to the US this morning. We're ringing him. He should be there in a minute.
Welcome to the Heartbeat. Oh my gosh, it's been a few weeks.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, you want to see how tanned I am now? My God, I look like one of Barack Obama's love children.
Yeah, what have you been doing?
Don't you want to know? I've just, just hanging about out in the sunshine and wallop. I've never been this brown in my life. I look like who can you think of now that's I don't know. I can't think of any black bald men that you can think of that are famous. To be honest, that's coming into my head.
That's okay. That's okay. I can't believe it was like 2 or 3 weeks ago since we last spoke, maybe even longer. So I'm excited to be back today. And Katie is here with us. Hi, Katie.
Good morning.
Morning, Katie.
How are you guys doing?
Very well, very well. I hope the sun's shining there. Well, I know the sun won't be shining. You'd be lucky if you're seeing it at the moment because it's at daft o'clock in the morning time.
It's been really warm here. I think Katie brought back the warm weather from Spain.
That'll be why. That'll be why.
Yep. It's been really, really warm. So anyway, everyone, thank you for joining us today on The Heartbeat with me, Christine Saunders, and my super special guest, Katie Fankhouser, who was on back in November. So it's been a few months, and so much has happened in Katie's world, and then in turn, everyone else around her's world. And so I am excited to have you here today. So you have just returned from Spain because you are the bronze-winning world champion freestyle kayaker. How does that feel?
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'd say. Yes.
Yeah. Well, are you just like riding it and like still on like cloud 9, or did you have like those few moments where you're like, oh man, I don't really want to leave?
Yes, definitely. Sometimes when I wish I was back in Spain.
Yeah, we're going to totally dive into all of this today. So I'm excited. So it was, when did you return? The 12th?
Yes. Just
Yes. And so you were over there for almost 3 or 4 weeks, right?
Just over a month, yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's like more than I thought for sure. And I want to talk about from when you, we're going to, dive into this, like I said, and from when you like realize, oh my gosh, I'm going to Spain to the world champions, and like what kind of prep you did, and then even leading up to that. So we have a full morning for everyone to hear about. And so I just want to go through a couple of little things first. If anyone has any questions for Katie throughout the morning, you can certainly email me at Christine@followyourwholeheart, or you can email the radio show at expatradio.fr@gmail, and we can certainly answer questions as they come in. And I know that you have a huge audience probably listening this morning around the world, Katie. Is that right?
I hope so.
I think so. Like,
for Spain tuning in, apparently all the bullfighters are under starters orders now they've seen her.
Oh yes,
they've given up. Yes. They've given up bullfighting for 12 months. Now they want to take up canoeing.
Yeah.
I mean, that'll look great in those tights that they wear and the gear, and that Napoleon hat that they wear side on. That in a canoe. You imagine that, can't you?
Oh my gosh, that would be funny. So, Dave, have you ever been to Spain?
Yeah. Oh, I love Spain. I grew up in Astarte, which is on the northeast coast. Gorgeous place, little fishing village. But Spain, I mean, you live on chorizo and paella. Loved it. And chicken and black pepper. Oh God, I want to go back. I've got to go back ASAP. But I loved it there.
Oh yeah, I'm excited to hear all about it. So here's my plan. Let's take a quick break, and then we're going to dive into just everything from the beginning until returning about Katie's road to world champion. So let's take a quick break, and we're going to listen to Peter Andre, Mysterious Girl. We'll be right back with Katie Fankhouser on The Heartbeat.
The best variety of music and conversation.
You're listening to Expat Radio, beaming out across France and around the world.
Welcome back to The Heartbeat, everyone, with my special guest, Katie Fankhouser, world champion freestyle kayaker. I'm excited to be here today to interview Katie.
Just say that again. Just say that again. Let me see if you can do that without mucking it up again, because you did that very, very well. I was impressed with that.
I don't even know what I said, Dave. That's how impressive it is.
That's how good you were. Just have a go. Go on. Just introduce Katie again. The world what?
the bronze world champion freestyle kayaker.
Oh God!
See?
How good is she at announcing that?
I got some skills.
Well, let's.
Oh my gosh! What were we going to say, Dave?
Nothing. I'm just saying it.
Oh.
No, you're just so fantastically perfect at saying that. I'd have got that completely back to front and upside down and inside out. I'd have been getting emails by now.
Well, I had to practice because I wanted to get it right for Katie, because it means the world to me that she's on here with me today. So I want to dive in, Katie, I remember hearing, for people who don't know, Katie, I work with her mom, and so I get to hear all these adventures that she's been on, and I remember hearing about it, reading about, going to the world. So can you walk us through like that moment when you were like, oh my gosh, I'm going to World Championship?
Yeah. Well, I've obviously been dreaming of this since the first World Championships that I went to in 2017 in Argentina. We had team trials for the U.S. in March, and pretty much March until July, when the World Championships were, I was just training mentally and trying to prepare and wrap my head around taking this amazing trip and getting to compete on the world scale.
Yeah. When you say training mentally, what does that look like for you?
Definitely visualization, because sometimes the pressure of competing on such a high level can definitely get in your head, and sometimes just focusing in and picturing what you're going to do and toning out all of the commotion around you helps a lot, especially with training as well, when you have some of the world's best kayakers in the river next to you.
Mm-hmm. So for being such a young age, let me ask you this question. Having that capability and that ability to tune out all of the garbage that's going on around you and just sort of focus and visualize, how do you do that? Because I don't know a lot of people who can. So that's something that you definitely need to teach a lot of people.
Yeah, it's actually takes a lot of practice, surprisingly. It's not always easy to totally focus in on what you're doing. And sometimes it's even hard to picture exactly what you need to do. And that's when you start realizing, oh, if I can't even visualize it, how am I supposed to do it?
Yeah. So when you're in that moment, like when all this stuff's going on in your head, and I can't even imagine like traveling the world, like the stress of that alone for some people, and then to, be going to this world championship, like, do you tell yourself certain things? Do you have like breathing techniques? How do you really like focus your mind?
Yeah, definitely breathing techniques for sure, to sort of get in that more peaceful mind. And I mean, being in a different country, other places, other things, new cultures, you got to tone all of it out and just focus in. And sometimes that's easier said than done, for sure.
Yep. I can only imagine. And I notice in some of your pictures, you wear headphones. I'm assuming you listen to music to help you.
Yes.
Yeah. What's your favorite go-to music?
Oh, I listen to everything. I listen to country, but right before the competition, I always listen to stuff that I can sing along to, get really fired up.
Nice. And so the mental prep is one thing and the physical prep is another. And so you're also a state championship runner, and you do yoga and you mountain climb, and I could just name them all. You have this amazing spirit of athleticism. And so training physically for something like this, what does that look like for you?
I try to train everywhere outside of my boat as well as in my boat. So I climb and I ski, and I try to keep myself as rounded as an athlete as possible. I spend a lot of time running and lifting weights and making sure that my body is ready for all the kayaking that I do at one time when it was time to get in my boat in June and start preparing for the World Championships.
Yeah. So is there anything that you don't do?
Sports with a ball.
Is that because of the coordination piece, or is this not something you're interested in?
I can't catch.
Katie, you could do everything. Of course you could catch.
I can't catch a cold, me, so don't worry.
What was that, Dave?
I said I can't catch a cold.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh my gosh! Well, I played kickball, and I couldn't catch either. So maybe it is a sports with
Kickball. What's that?
It's like baseball, only with kicking a ball and running bases. Yes.
I bet that hurts if you're using a baseball to kick it. My God, I bet that biting it. Your feet must be like leather, Gil.
It's like a big round reddish ball.
Big round reddish ball.
Yeah, it's a whole nother show.
I'd stick to canoeing.
Right. Oh my gosh. So Katie does pretty much everything, and I have seen pictures, I've heard stories, and I know that I'm assuming in your mind, if you see something, you're like, hey, I'm going to do that, and you just do it, right? You don't think it, overthink it, like most people are like. If you said, hey, Chris, let's go rock climbing up Boulder Canyon, I would be like, no, I can't do that. But you were like, no, let's go.
Yeah.
Have you always been like that? Yeah, have you always been like that?
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
I've sort of always just been pretty gung-ho and just wanting to try new things and get out there.
Yeah, you're the adventurous type for sure. It's definitely, I can totally see that. And I know the last time that we talked, that was a big deal, and we talked about your family and how they support you and push you and motivate you and inspire you. And we're going to get into that a little bit later, because I have a couple of questions about that being over in Spain. So let's take another quick break, and then when we come back, I want to talk about, being in Spain and all that month or so that you were there. So let's take a quick break with Rihanna, Love on the Brain, and we'll be right back with Katie on the Heartbeat. Welcome back to the Heartbeat. See, Dave, you jinxed me last time.
Yes.
Welcome to the Heartbeat.
Yes, never get your M's and your W's mixed up. That could be a mess.
Yeah, let's not do that. Anyway, welcome back, everyone. And Dave, I forgot how awesome that song was. I haven't heard that song in a little while. So thanks for playing it. That was great.
You're very welcome. You're more than welcome.
Yes.
I thought you'd be singing a lot. I thought you'd be saying, it brings back memories for you. Why? Did you have you had a date night with your beloved to that?
No date nights.
Oh, right. Well, you wanted to write more often. Trust me. Anyway,
I know.
Kayaking. Talk to me.
Back to kayaking. We are here with Katie Fankhouser, world champion freestyle kayaker. There it is, Dave. And I have some questions for Katie. And we have about a half an hour left in our show. And I want to ask you first of all. So this last week, Katie did an interview with one of our local radio stations, and you said something, and I absolutely loved it. And it was, sometimes I dip my hand in the water to become one with the river. What is that all about?
I think it's just really peaceful, I guess. Sometimes just right before I drop in, sometimes the wave can be super powerful and throw me around a little bit, and it's kind of cool to just drag my fingers in the water and feel the current and sort of just remember that it's powerful and like sort of remember where I'm at and who's the boss, sort of, you know.
Have respect for the water then.
Yeah, I'd definitely say it's respect for the water, which that's such a powerful feature seems important.
Yeah, absolutely. Like when I watch you, I just can't. For anyone who hasn't ever seen such a thing, make sure that you go to Katie's Instagram page or her Facebook page, which will tell you all about it, and watch some of these amazing videos of her competing, some of her just playing around, and it's really phenomenal, the things that she does. And one of the things that you have invented this move called the Skippy Rippy, which we talked about in November. You knew I was going to bring up the Skippy Rippy. You can't not have Skippy Rippy. But it's a move to enter into I'm going to get the lingo wrong, so I'll just let you describe it when we get there. So the Skippy Rippy, and people are now doing that, right? Like, this is like your thing, and now people are doing it, and they're getting points for it, right?
Yeah, I think there was some people that tried it and competed with the Skippy Rippy this year.
Tell us a little bit about it. It's an entry move, right?
Yes, so it's an entrance move, and in freestyle kayaking, you have 45 seconds to do as many tricks as you can. So the advantage to an entrance move is that you have points right when you hit the water. Like right when you hit the wave, you've got points on the board, but then you risk flushing off the back of it and having to paddle back up. And I was struggling a lot with trying to get the normal entrance move, and so I just kind of came up with my own. But you come in from the top and then drop into the feature and sort of do an orbit type pirouette.
Well, I've had an idea, Katie. I've had an idea for you. You know, in synchronized swimming, when all the girls stand at the side of the pool and they all start doing these special moves before they get in the pool.
Yes.
With the nose clips on and the hair pulled back, so when they blink, you look like you're in agony. Well, I think you should be, before you get in your canoe, you should be at the side of the canoe. Next time, this will get you gold medal, trust me. If you start doing an MC hammer dance at the side of the canoe and then do a pirouette, a triple salcho, and something else before you get in the canoe, then launch yourself off the side and get in the water, people will be, what the hell was that? That's a 10 before you've even got in the water.
I will have to try that next time.
Trust me, you'll be all over the telly. It'll be all over the telly and YouTube, that.
Oh, my gosh. You know what, Katie? I'm meeting you at Lions this weekend, and we should do that.
I think you should work out a routine at the side of the canoe before you get in there. It's just say, right, we're going to do this before you get in it. We'll try this out. And then,
my God.
And just see what happens.
And it does have to be MC Hammer. Is that what you're saying, Dave? That's what's the kicker, MC Hammer type move?
Well, yeah, you know, something like that. That people will go, what is she doing here? This is quality. And then a bit of you could do a moonwalk, a bit of Michael Jackson thrown in there before, and then throw your safety helmet away and just get in the kayak and away you go. And go, God, she's got guts.
Oh my God! You can't throw the helmet away. Her mother would just be like, petrified.
Remember Billie Jean and Beat It, the video?
Yes.
Right, well, that's the idea. When he throws the hat away and then he starts dancing, that's what she does. She puts another one on, obviously, when she gets in the boat. That could be part of the routine. She throws one away and puts another one on. How good is that? See? I've got all angles, all areas are covered for this. Trust me, the choreography is going to be unbelievable.
Oh my gosh, Dave, that's so funny. We're gonna put that in the notes because, that's a total video. I feel it, Katie.
I've just won the gold medal. I've just won the gold medal World Championships for you for next year doing that.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh my gosh.
Bonus points.
Yes, bonus points. So let's talk a little bit about the time you left Colorado and your journey to, standing on the podium. And for someone who travels around Colorado and, you and your dad revamped this trailer into a camper for you. So you could pretty much have, freedom to go wherever you want and do whatever you need to for this. But going overseas again, Argentina last year, Spain this year, like, you're traveling solo, correct?
Yes, I was traveling solo this time, and that was a little nerve-wracking. But it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, when I heard that, I was like, oh my gosh. Like, I had anxiety, and I was like, I can't imagine someone who's, so, focused on this championship and then traveling on top of that. And you did so well. So once you got there, what was going on in your mind? Like, you had some time before your family showed up, right?
Yeah, I was staying alone for a little while, and then I had a friend also from Colorado come and stay with me, another one of the juniors on Team USA. Mm-hmm. And honestly, when I got there, I was just so excited to go kayaking. I just could not wait to get in my boat and try out the feature and start to get to know that wave and start practicing my tricks.
Yeah, so that particular place where the competition was, you could go in there and you could practice in the actual wave, right?
Yes.
Yes. Oh, that's so amazing.
The water was released at certain times of the day, and so the lines were super long, but you could, for the most part, get in whenever you wanted.
Yeah. Were there mostly competitors, or were there just sort of people from town and the surrounding areas trying to get in there as well, or was it really just for the competitors?
This time, it was pretty much just the competitors, because I think people knew that we were training. So
yeah. And so, any big takeaways, lessons learned from before you actually did your semifinals and finals?
Honestly, I think it was more after. I think it was super cool that I was on the podium, and it was a total dream come true. But I also think that, like, it was just as important, all the stuff that led up to it, all the training, all the people that I met. I mean, being in my boat that much made me a better paddler. So even if I wouldn't have done well, I still would have taken away all those new skills, all that practice, and just the journey, the people that I met, the things that I did, the places that I saw were just as important.
Right. So you probably met or connected with some pretty cool people. Any like couple of, big takeaways of advice from people while you were there?
Having fun. I mean, people say it all the time, but seriously, I mean, if you're not competing with a smile on your face, why are you competing?
That's a very good point. And I think every picture or video I pretty much saw of you, you had a smile on your face.
Yeah, it's definitely, I just find it important that you're still having fun and that you're not taking it so seriously that it's stressing you out. And then I think that sometimes that can make people underperform. Great paddlers can just choke because they put too much pressure on themselves and they're not having enough fun.
Right. Do you feel like that's sort of across the board with athletics, that people put too much pressure on themselves, or people put pressure, or feel like people are putting pressure on them to perform in a certain way?
I mean, it's really easy in any sport. I mean, even with my running, to be thinking and focusing on people back home, people supporting you. But what I always just try to remember is, like, I have all of these people, and they're not my fans and my supporters. They're not people that are going to be like, oh, she did bad if I don't get on the podium or something. They're more people that are, like, excited no matter what I do, and excited that I'm there, excited about what I'm doing, and not even just how I do or how I perform, but where I've been and how I got there.
Right. So it really is that who you surround yourself is what your life is really about, right? So
exactly.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. And so here's my question. I posted something on social media right after you had won, and the timing was different because, Spain is later, of course, than we are here. And so when I was posting this, there were a couple of comments, and somebody said, I love the end of this video with the audience. And pretty much the audience was your family. Mm-hmm. So I absolutely wanted to ask you, your mom was there, your dad was there, your sisters, your boyfriend and his family. Like, you have family, and then you have like this extended family. What did that mean to you to have them all there for you?
It was so cool to have the whole family there at this Worlds. I always knew, my dad, I don't really have an official coach, and so my dad is always helping me out with the mental side of things, checking in with me. And my sisters were just my number one fans all the way. They were dressed out in USA gear, made signs for the whole team. They were like the Team USA cheerleaders at Worlds. And same with my mom. They were always out there. They were always the ones in the bleachers cheering for everyone, not even just me, but everyone on the team.
Yeah, that was awesome. And your mom is the team manager, right?
Yes, she was the team manager this year.
Yeah, and how, she was telling me about that, and how she was even nervous for to perform and to make sure that she supported the team. And so I'm so it's just a family thing for the Fankhousers and beyond. So I just wanted to point that out, and people recognize that and they acknowledge that, and I think it's really important for anyone who's, competing in athletics or just competing in life, that family is really important. And that's the key right there. So I have a couple more questions, but we have to take a quick break. We're going to listen to Take That by Giants, and we'll be right back with Katie Fankhouser. Welcome back to The Heartbeat, everyone, with Katie Fankhouser, world champion kayak freestyle. Oh, Dave, see, you just totally jinxed me. Freestyle kayak champion.
I was so laid back then, thinking you're gonna walk this now, and then you go and blow it again.
Yep. Yeah. Thanks, Dave. Appreciate it. No, I'm just kidding. It's all good. This is live radio, right? It happened.
Don't worry, we'll edit that. Don't worry.
Sure, we'll edit that out on live radio. Anyway, we have very limited time here with my friend Katie this morning, and so I have just a few more questions for you. And we, celebrating, people don't celebrate enough, and so I want to talk to you about standing on that podium and what that felt like for you, and then the celebration afterwards. So talk to me about standing on that podium with your, you had a teammate up there, correct?
Yeah. Another girl from the U.S. actually got second, so it was cool to share the podium with her. And our other, so there's three junior women from the U.S. that competed, and we got second, third, and fourth, actually.
That's awesome.
So
that's really cool.
It was super cool to be up there with some of the best kayakers in the world and some of my friends from back home.
Yeah. And so when you're standing up there, what are you thinking about? I know that's a very intimate question, but what are you thinking about?
It was definitely just a moment where I was just thinking everything was kind of coming together, my goals, and they're finally being reached, and all the hard work that I put in was being justified, which doesn't always happen. So I was obviously super stoked that it all worked out that way, but it was super cool to just be able to take it all in and think about how much training went into it, how long all of us had been preparing for this competition, and sort of a sad feeling too that it was over, so much preparation and standing up there, and it was done. The world's over.
I totally can relate to that, completely and totally can relate to that. And I think just having that awareness is awesome, because then you can be like, oh, well, what's next? So you can have your moment and celebrate and, honor your competitive spirit and your athleticism and your hard work. And then, okay, what's my next goal? And that's where I was trying to see if you went there, or was that after? What's next?
On the podium, maybe not, but maybe that night and that next day, I'm sort of thinking, oh man, I'm going to be on the senior team like I'm going to have to make the senior team, not the under 18 team for the next Worlds, and obviously like making new goals for the future.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's flippin' awesome. So, I have to ask you this question because in a lot of your social media posts, there's reference to handstands, and then there's pictures of you and your sisters all over Spain doing handstands. Talk to me about these handstands.
Oh my gosh. Well, my older sister and I both have backgrounds in gymnastics, and handstands are a big part of my warm-up, actually, in every one of my sports. It's super funny because I do the same warm-up for every sport, whether it's pole vaulting, cross-country running, sprinting, kayaking. And so I'll do handstands before rides, and then we'll take pictures sort of for fun at everywhere we go. So when we toured places in Barcelona afterwards, my sisters and I were just taking pictures doing handstands everywhere just for fun.
Yeah, and they're not just handstands. They're like handstands with like yoga moves and like all these different things. And it's awesome to be able to see that and to see that connection that you have with your sisters who
Yes.
it's just so awesome to see that. I saw you diving or jumping off of cliffs. Is that true? Did I see that?
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
The day after the competition, we went cliff jumping. That was a lot of fun.
Oh my gosh, that just gives me anxiety. You're so brave. Like you're so brave to just like let's just do this.
I'm just doing a handstand up against the wall here. Just hold on a minute.
Oh my gosh.
Is it normal when your trousers start coming down? I'm going cross-eyed here. I'm hanging upside down. I can't even see. Never mind do anything else. How do you do that for a warm-up? What on earth am I doing here?
Oh. You might need to practice, Dave. You might need some tips.
Practice makes perfect.
That's right. So before we forget, can you share with people where they can follow you, where they can find your videos, ask you questions, engage and connect with you?
Yeah, my Instagram really is katie.kayak. I'd love to hear some feedback from people if they want to reach out and ask me questions.
Yeah, absolutely. I would love for people to ask you questions and to just absolutely go and look at your Instagram page. And then you do have a YouTube channel, right? Is that correct? Or am I wrong?
I do. Yes.
Yes. And your videos are up there. And there's a bunch of videos on Facebook as well. I think the key thing for anyone connecting with anyone on social media is say why you're connecting, because sometimes coming on the radio and people connect with me, I have no idea who they are or where they have found us. So tell us where you find us, especially for Katie, who's looking to make those connections around the world. And so let's talk a little bit about this. Freestyle kayaking is not quite an Olympic sport yet, but it could be, right?
It could be, yes.
Yeah, and so is that happening-ish?
I think there's definitely a push more at this Worlds, especially in 2019 than in 2017. There's been a lot more talk about it and a lot more discussions about where the sport's going, and some disagreements. Obviously, there's some people that just kind of want it to be fun and kind of keep it away from the idea of the way that slalom went and how competitive slalom kayaking is, which is an Olympic sport. So there's definitely some growth in the sport to still come, but I really hope that it does end up in the Olympics one day, because I would love to go. I'm training, and I'm going to continue to try to make Team USA and continue to try to place at Worlds, but it would be pretty cool to have it in the Olympic Games one day.
Yeah, that would be awesome. And so you could pretty much go anywhere in the world and kayak. Besides Spain and around here in Colorado and the U.S., where else would you absolutely love to go and kayak?
Well, I have already been to Chile, and I would love to go back there. That place felt like something out of a movie when I went to run waterfalls there after the 2017 World Championships. And I think that's the unicorn of kayaking.
Yeah, really?
To me.
That's cool.
To me, yeah. I mean, the waterfalls and the banks of Patagonia and everything about it was just absolutely incredible. I'd love to go back there.
Oh, that's fantastic. I did see a video, I think it was on your Facebook page, of somebody like pretty much free falling off of waterfalls. When you say run waterfalls, is that what you're talking about?
Yes.
Oh my God. Some of those drops are really far.
I haven't done the super big ones yet, but one day.
Oh my gosh. So what's next for you in the next few months?
Well, cross country season starts next month, so training hard for running now. I pretty much got back and went full force into cross country training. So that'll take me into November, and then I'll probably start training for track, take a little time to climb and ski. But once kayaking comes around again, I'll be training for team trials the next time to try to make Team USA again, and then hopefully competing Nottingham in 2021.
Nice. That'll be fun. Have you ever been there before?
I have not.
Adventure.
Yes, it would be my first time in the UK.
Oh, that's so exciting. So many things
Yes.
there. That's very, 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 very cool. So I feel like I had another question, but it's completely escaped me. I can't thank you enough for getting up this early in the morning with me, and sharing this space and interviewing, and talking about this amazing experience. And I think you can do anything you want to do in the world, Kate. And I think, going to college and doing whatever is next on your list is so far away. Like, if you think about it.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I think, you still have summer, you still have, school, and just be, like you said, have fun and be a kid. And I'm so proud of you. I'm so excited to see you, even just in the last year, and what that you've done. So here's my last question to you. Any wise words for young athletes who want to compete on an international level?
Set goals and work towards them. I mean, a goal without a plan is just a wish. So
I like that.
Setting it and working towards it.
So when you set your goals, now you've prompted my thought process and my brain waking up again. I noticed that you do journaling and you do that. When you set goals, do you write them down, right? What's your goal setting process?
I always write my goals down, always. And I actually write goals at the beginning of every month, and then I rate myself 1 through 3 on how I did every week on those goals, so that I'm remembering to go back to them, because sometimes it's easy to forget, especially the little goals, like little personal goals, which
Right.
are just as important as the main goals.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes, because those little ones add up, right?
Right.
Awesome. So if anyone has any questions, make sure that you follow Katie.kayak on Instagram. And you can always email Dave with questions at expatradio.fr at Gmail, and he will get those questions to Katie. So again, Katie, thank you so much for getting up and sharing space with me. Thanks, Dave, for steering the ship and jinxing me halfway through. I appreciate
You're
that.
You're more than welcome. You know how good I am at putting you off.
Oh my gosh. Any last words, Dave, for Katie?
No, I just think she's an absolute superstar, and totally take me out off to her. And the amount of people that will be listening to this that have, at the end of the day, people want to live their dreams and don't sit on your backside and think, oh, I wish I'd done that when I was younger. If you've got a dream and you want to go for it, go for it. Because Katie's living a dream now.
Yep, absolutely. She is living it for sure.
And
So.
I'm proud to have her on the station as well, to have her, representing the US to come on and be interviewed to talk about it. So, yeah, massive thank you.
And, Dave, I do have to tell you that Jocelyn, who has promised that she's still sending you the autographed picture, has it on her desk to send, and she does now have your address. So,
Jocelyn, she's got to bring it personally.
There you go, Jocelyn. I know she's listening. Jocelyn, you have to fly over to France and take the picture today.
I've never been to Europe. What the hell is that? She'll be panicking, thinking, where on earth France? Nobody in America knows where France is, do they?
Oh, yes.
It's just north of Spain. That'll be the answer.
Oh, my gosh.
Yes, I actually got to spend a little time in France before the competition, actually.
Did you?
I did.
Very good. Whereabouts?
Got to kayak a little bit there, in Lyon, France.
Right, yeah, Lyon's nice. Nice in Lyon.
Yeah, beautiful.
Brilliant.
Awesome.
Right,
I
we're
think
running
we're
out of time,
out
haven't
of time.
we? We have. We've got to go to the last song.
Yeah, Tears for Fears. Everybody Wants to Rule the World.
Perfect.
Great song.
All right, guys. Thanks a lot for being on
Thank
today.
you.
Take care.
Thanks for having me.
Adios.
Thanks, Katie. See you soon.